the next day he was like, you charged £150 to my room. And I was like, yeah, you told me you earn £1 million a day and you told me to make myself at home. Like, what did you think I was going to do?
Hello and welcome back to Single Sounds, the only podcast that helps you find a date, especially if you live in London. This week's episode is a very special one as I have Mads on the show. Mads has lived in London for 6 years after growing up in Melbourne, Australia. She is the host of comedy, dating and feminist podcast, Mads World, alongside working in media partnerships. She has also written for Glamour UK and is passionate about going to as many gigs as possible, watching as many BBC crime dramas and reading as many books as she can. I loved our conversation. She is genuinely hilarious and I know you guys will love it too. Hi, Maddie. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Katie. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited you're here. Let's get to know you, your dating profile.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, who are you sexually attracted to?
So I think through this, I'm looking for a man.
Lovely.
Yep. I'm currently 29, so I'm looking for someone probably between like 27 and 34.
Okay.
It's quite specific, but I think my hinge is on like 25 to 35. So
yeah. Narrowing it a bit.
I'm flexible, but I'm just narrowing it down a little bit.
Perfect. Any height preferences?
Do you know what? I actually don't really care about height because I'm 5'5", so it's not a massive thing for me. I think 5'10" is like my ultimate height, but you know, I'm not really fast.
Not
Probably
bothered.
just someone not shorter than me, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've dated all kinds of heights and it's just never been an issue. So
Yeah. No, I agree. I always say that. I've dated plenty of people like my height,
Yeah.
even a bit shorter, and it's never been that much of an issue. So.
yeah.
And finally, where would you like to date?
In London, so I'm living in North London, so anywhere around North, East London, but I also work in West London. I don't know, I probably just wouldn't want to date out there because just not a fan and I probably will never live there. So
Yeah.
I think North East is the vibe. Even somewhere easy to get to on the overground like Peckham. That's fine too.
Yeah. That's quite far.
Yeah, but on the overground for me it's like 20 minutes. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not fussy.
I'm
good.
So the first section is acceptance. So it's like, will the potential dater listening to this be accepting of your flaws? So the first question around that is, what is the nerdiest thing about you?
Okay, well, I really love reading and I do a little book recommendation thing on Instagram, which is so nerdy. But a lot of people actually do ask me, they're like, for recommendations. So I'm like, just point them to the highlight on the Insta. Like, I can't remember every book I've read. So that's one of them. And I love like philosophy and psychology. I love reading about that sort of thing. And I love talking about it and having a bit of a discussion about all that sort of stuff. And I also really love PlayStation, which is actually going full embarrassing nerd. But I'm really into Last of Us on HBO at the moment because we played it in PlayStation in lockdown.
I've heard so much about this.
Oh my God, Katie, it's so good.
I don't have like HBO Now TV.
It's called illegal streaming. Just get on it.
I need to get on it. Everyone's saying it's like the best thing ever.
Very good. And I feel like all zombie stuff is kind of similar. And I never used to like it because I was like, it's all the same thing. But it's just so good. The story's good. Characters are good. Get around it.
It's the characters, I think, that like really sells you, isn't it?
Yeah, love it.
Cool. And next question about acceptance. What are your shower thoughts?
What are my shower thoughts? I think it's that, I have a good one. It's that every time Pavlov heard a bell ring, he would have thought about feeding his dog. So Pavlov would have Pavlov's dogged himself.
Because the bell was like a reference for him. Yeah,
the bell was like every time his dog heard a bell ring, he would think it was time to get fed. But when Pavlov was out in public, if he heard a bell ring, he was probably just like, oh, got to feed my dog.
Yeah.
Right? So insane.
Yeah, he proved the theory on himself without realising. Or maybe he did realise.
Well, guess we'll have to ask him. Guess we can't.
We'll never know. Okay, next section is adventure. I feel like you're going to be a good one of this. This is like take us on a journey with your stories.
Okay, love that.
So what is your worst dating story?
All right, so it's so embarrassing, but we're here, we're doing this, whatever. It's all good.
It's an adventure.
It's an adventure. So I was chatting to this guy and he was just like one of those finance bros, like full on wanker banker type guys. And just would send me the most horrendous voice notes about like how like crypto works and like how investing works. And I'm like, I already know, like, why are you mansplaining this stuff to me? Like, I didn't even ask. And he would just be like, yeah, it's basically just like investing loads of money into just like different things. And then I just make like $1 million a day. Like, all this. Like, he actually said that he makes $1 million a day. And I was like, new to London. I was like, yeah, there's no reason for him to lie. Like, like, so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You'd think so, you know, but people just lie for
It's insane. Fun. And anyway, so we had my Christmas party and we'd only been talking for like a little bit. And then he was like, oh, I'm at the Park Lane Hilton in London in the penthouse. And I was like, oh, that seems normal because he is a millionaire and earns £1 million a day. And stuff. Every day. And then I was like, cool. Well, if you want, like, you know, we've been talking for like a couple weeks and I think I said a few days before, but it was probably more like a couple of weeks. And then he was like, do you want to come over? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went to the Park Lane Hilton all the way from my work party afterwards. And I was like, this is going to be so good. I'm going to get to wear a robe and little slippers. And it's going to be amazing.
Champagne in the room.
Fully. And then we went up. I went up to the penthouse. He was fully there. So he wasn't lying, and I was like, okay, this is fun. Had my robe on, slippers, the whole thing. We like had a pretty good time and stuff. And then he was like, oh, I can't wait for our date on Tuesday. And I was like, what is our date on Tuesday going to be? And he's like, it's a surprise, I can't tell you. And then he ended up telling me, he's like, fine, I'll tell you. Are you sure you want to know? And I was like, yeah, because I don't know what to wear. Like, I'm a girl. I just want to know like a clue. And he goes, it's the London Eye. And I was like, well, that's a bit shit because like the London Eye is like anyone can do it. And he goes, no. It's the London Eye. It's the whole entire London Eye. I've booked the whole thing, every single carriage, every single bubble. I've booked the whole thing. It cost 15 grand.
What the fuck?
And I was like, what? And I'm looking over. He's got Louis Vuitton personalized luggage. We're in the penthouse in the Hilton. I'm looking over Hyde Park. I think it was Hyde Park. And I was like, it sounded real. Because, like, who looks someone in the face while you're sitting together and lies like that? Like, that would be weird, right?
Yeah, it's also, like, such a weird thing to hire. Why do you need every car of the London Eye?
That's what everyone
like, every
says.
Bubble.
But I was like, it's romantic or something. And I was like, yeah.
One bubble, sure. All of the bubbles.
Like, it just...
That just feels like a waste of money.
And I'm like, imagine there's, like, this tourist family sitting at the bottom. They're like, can we come on? And the guy's like, sorry, whole thing's booked out.
Yeah, some
like,
dickhead rented out.
Yeah, all the bubbles
people.
are empty. Yeah, well, too bad. He paid 15 grand. And so I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I was like, so like, oh my God, like didn't even question it because whatever. Anyway, in the morning he left. He's like, I have to get on a flight. I was like, whatever. He left. He's like, you can stay. I rang my friend. She came round. We ordered room service. We went and got massages, charged it to the room. This guy's told me he earns $1 million a day. So I was like, I'm going to take the piss.
Yeah.
And I'm not even taking the piss. I could have gone way worse. We just got some pancakes with some strawberries, some fresh OJ. But at the Park Lane Hilton in the penthouse, it cost a bit of money. Anyway, we leave. The next day, he was like, you charged £150 to my room. And I was like, yeah, you told me you earn £1 million a day and you told me to make myself at home. Like, what did you think I was going to do? And then he was like, right. And then the next day, I was messaging him and I was like, I'm really excited for tonight. Like, I'm looking really cute. And I was at work because this was at a time we didn't have to work from home. We didn't get to work from home. And everyone in the office was like all excited.
Yeah,
you
just told them about
the
London Eye.
Yeah, like London Eye was like this whole thing, like the whole office knew it. And it was like, if this didn't work out, it was going to be so embarrassing. And then I fully went to the London Eye. At the time that he said, I could see people in there. I was like, they're probably just not gone yet. I was there in my little outfit. And then he texted me a photo of him at the airport. He's like, so sorry. Had to go to the airport for an emergency flight to Dubai. And I was like, so I was standing there at the London Eye in my little outfit. Like, I was wearing like little heels. It was like so embarrassing. And like the family who wanted to go to London Eye was there. They were all there at a queue. And then the next day we're at work and someone's like, you should ring the London Eye and ask them if he ever had it booked. Yeah. And then we rang them and then they put me on.
You rang them? Oh
yeah.
my God.
I was like to them, did will this guy do this? Like, did he book it out? And he's like, it was like this gay guy, and he was so invested. He was like, you stay right there, girlie. I'm going to put you on hold and I'm going to find out the truth. And then the whole office was on speakerphone and everyone was dancing around going, oh my God. And then he came back. He'd never booked it.
No.
He made it up.
Why?
He made it up, Katie.
Wait, why would he do that though? What is the point?
It's so embarrassing.
Do you think he was even at the airport? Was it just like an old photo?
Well,
like
all my friends, someone zoomed in on a clock in the photo and the clock matched the time that he sent it. So I don't know if he knew
Unless
that
he's like a genius, you'd have to be like so clever to know to send it at that time, yeah.
So anyway, what the hell?
I'm guessing you never saw him again.
No, it's so embarrassing that I believed any of it. But I just, when you get sucked in and it's all just too easy.
Also, like you said, it was kind of lining up with the fancy hotel and
right?
Like he clearly paid the bill for the £150 even though he like snubbed his nose at it.
Yeah, he was a bit annoyed, but he like still paid for it. And
yeah.
it was like one pancake. Calm down.
Chill out. Okay. And what would your TED Talk topic be?
Okay, so my TED Talk topic would be dating.
Yes.
Because I have my own dating podcast called Mad's World, and it's about dating, sex, relationships, feminism, and love and life. Or it's kind of evolved into a few different things. But I think what I love talking to people about the most and like learning about the most is dating and love. And just because everyone has the capacity to be in love and to go on a date, I just feel like there's so many different ways that you can do it, and I find it really fascinating. But that being said, you have to be an expert in something to have a TED Talk. I'm definitely not an expert. I'm really bad at dating because I've been on so many bad ones, and I'm like, how do I even have the authority to have a podcast about dating? So,
but you're learning. To be fair, I don't think it's you. I think it's the people that you're matching with.
I think so too, like London Eye guy.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know what? I like to say this, like to validate my new method of dating. I think if you listen to his podcast, you would have not gone out with him.
Oh
you
my God.
You would have heard his crypto bullshit. You would have seen through it, you know?
So true.
You wouldn't have swiped for that.
Love that. And anyone listening who does like the sound of that, ask me out. I'll take you to the London Eye and book every pod. Maybe.
Just got 15 grand to drop. The podcast is going really well.
It's going really well, guys.
I make that per episode.
Yeah.
You know what? You could easily tell someone that and they just wouldn't know. They'd be like, yeah, sure.
You'd be like, I know nothing about podcasting.
Sounds
monetization.
Good. No, that's a great TED Talk topic. And I feel like it's very relatable. Like you said, everyone wants to date, wants to learn how to date.
Yeah.
And there's so many avenues you could take it as well with the topic of what you actually talk about. Okay, this bit wasn't going to be in this section, but I really liked yours, so I'm going to throw them in here. Because they're also still stories. So you're still going to take us on an adventure, I know it, with your 2 truths and a lie.
Oh, yes. Okay. I've had the same 2 truths and a lie for like 2 years now.
That's what you're meant to do though. It's like they're staple.
Yeah, they're just your staples. Like, don't stray. Even if something crazy happens to you, stick with what you know. Stick to the status quo. So my 2 truths and a lie. You don't even know which one is true. So
no, I've got no idea. I'm guessing which one's the lie.
First one, I once made Justin Bieber cry.
Oh, I hope that's true. That's insane.
Second one, I was born on the side of the road.
Whoa. Okay.
The third one, my dad was the Rolling Stones paramedic.
Okay, these are interesting.
They're all so good.
They are good. If the Justin Bieber one's true, I need to know all about
I'll
that.
tell you if it's true. That was kind of a clue.
The second one I felt like was really true. It was quite a random one to make up. So that one didn't raise alarm bells.
Okay.
The Rolling Stones one did. Just because I feel like it's an easy one to be like, he was a paramedic for another band or another artist.
This is what I always try and think.
Yeah. But then making Justin Bieber cry, like how?
It's so bad.
Or did you make someone else cry? I don't know. No, I'm going to go with my gut. I feel like the third one's a lie.
The third one is true.
Oh.
The second one is a lie.
Oh, the second one's a lie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I did make Justin Bieber cry.
How?
So I was 19. We were in the club and basically we missed out on tickets to his show and we were like, okay, we'll just like find out where he's going clubbing tonight after his show and then we'll try and go there. And I had a lot of like promoters. I don't know how it works in London, but when you're 19 in Melbourne, you have club promoter people and people who run nightclubs on Facebook. And like one of them put up a status that said, Justin Bieber is coming to this club tonight. And I was like to the girlies, it was like 11 p.m. It was a school night. I was like, we're going to the club. And they're like, how do you know he's there? I was like, I don't, but at the very least, Scotty T from Geordie Shore is going, so we can at least meet him.
As if you knew who he was, like over in Melbourne.
Katie, you don't understand how big Geordie Shore is over there.
That's so rogue.
I know.
It's not even that big here. Like,
oh my God.
It's a little bit
obsessed.
big, but
like everyone wanted to kiss Gary from Geordie Shore. Like it was so tragic. I think I even did it at one point in a club. I did a lot of clubbing in my younger years.
I met him, to be fair. They used to come around, like, I'm from Reading, like, the clubs there are really tragic, but those are the sort of clientele they attract.
And they make, like, 5K per club appearance, and they just do, like, 5 in a night. So they actually are making £1 million a day.
Yeah.
Like that guy. Anyway, so we went to the club. We were there. Scotty T was there. He was being mortal. And then we were there, and there was this huge, like, screen thing that had been put up in the middle of the club. I knew the club well. Been there a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then there was all these, like, out of character kind of people roaming around the club, like big American guys wearing lots of chains, like, you know, there's not many black people in Melbourne, lots of black African American people, like people that look like they were part of Justin's crew.
Yeah.
And
that's what I thought was going, like Americans around.
Like a lot, like there's no Americans in Melbourne ever. And then suddenly everyone was American and they were wearing really bad clothes. And
they do dress terribly.
So bad. And then we were like, let's just leave. It's like 2 a.m. He's obviously not here. Next to me, I literally looked next to me, Justin Bieber is standing there. And I was like to my friend, that's him. She was like, no, it isn't. That's just some stupid kid with a giant hat and sunnies. I was like, that is literally Justin Bieber. And then she looked and he took his sunnies off and his eyes were like dinner plates, like huge. Like he was obviously super high. And he was crying, like, well, already a bit crying, but not fully crying yet. And then I was like, Justin? And he was like, and then he ran out the club and I was like, chase him. So we chased him onto the street and then we were chasing after him and then he was standing on the street. Everyone's eating McDonald's around him, like kebabs, all the shit. And Justin Bieber was literally standing there, all this, like, I knew what he looked like. I was a super fan. I'm not silly. And then my friend just goes, Justin! I was like, you idiot. And then he runs. He sprints. Yeah. And I was like, get him. We're in heels. We started chasing him. Full legging it.
Oh my God, this poor kid.
I know. And he was probably like 20. He was probably younger than me. He was probably like 17. This is when he was like in his graffiti era as well. And he had a rucksack full of spray cans. And that's why he was running, because he was like running because he could get in trouble from the cops. He takes his bag off, chucks it under a car while he's running.
Oh my God.
We're running. We're chasing him in an alleyway. There's rain coming down. He's crying, he's screaming.
Why is he crying? I'm so confused.
He was super high, he was super stressed. And then his gold chain was like whacking him in the face, like,
and he was scared
and he was
this
running.
mob of teenage girls who were like chasing him.
Yeah, and then the cops pull up down the next street. He jumps in the back of the cop car to escape. And then his like manager comes around the other side and like he like corners us. He's like, Ladies, Justin's had a fight with his DJ, Tay James. He's really upset. You gotta leave him. And then, he hadn't jumped in the cop car yet. He stood on the corner, just crying his eyes out while we watched him. And this guy was like, get away from him, ladies, get away from him. And then he got in the cop car, and then we just stood there, and we were all wet from the rain in little shorty shorts and little high heels. And we were like, no one is ever gonna believe that story.
No.
And it was fully real. Like what?
Did
no
you take
pics.
the bag with the
no, because by the
cans?
time we'd gone back, his manager had grabbed it, but it was full of spray.
Because that would have been like worth a fortune.
I know. And then I looked at my friend; she was literally holding a digital camera. Because 10 years ago, that's what you did when you went to the club. You took a digital camera.
She got no snaps.
She got no pics. Like I was like, are you actually joking me right now? She was
at least with the police car, like, come on.
She was like, I was panicking and then I felt guilty because he was so upset. And I was like, guilty? We could have made £1 million a day. In one day. So, yeah, that was my story.
Oh, that's pretty good too.
Yeah. But then my dad actually was Mick Jagger's paramedic in Australia.
That's cool.
Yeah, they toured around and he was a huge Stones fan and he's worked as a paramedic for like 30 years. So they were just like, Colin, do you want to be the Rolling Stones
Colin,
paramedic?
bless.
Colin. And he was like,
Get it, Colin.
get it. And he was like, obviously, yes. So then he just was. That story's way less interesting, but it's
I'm
very
really
cool.
happy for your dad, though.
And he got to like shake his hand and he was like, oh my God, if Mick Jagger like goes unconscious, I get to give him CPR. Woo! I was like, oh my God.
I can save his life.
You're basically kissing. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Crazy.
Actually, that leads on really nicely to my third and final section
Yay!
of the A's, which is affection section. We just had some affection for your dad.
Love that.
But this is more, where do your affections lie or don't lie?
Okay.
But you picked, what are you weirdly attracted to? So let us know.
Oh, musicians. And in particular, Maddie Healy. Because I don't even care if they're problematic, ugly, stupid. Like, I like them. If they can carry a tune, I like them. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense and I'm not proud of it. But just love them.
No, it's like, it's a really good talent. So,
and it's just attractive. Like, you see someone commanding a room, they're standing in the middle, they're playing a little song,
confident,
and everyone's just like, that's the alpha of this room.
Yeah, I have that with people that perform, like, in general, like even in plays and stuff. They might not even be that cute, but I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
you delivered those lines well, and you can sing, and it's just a whole vibe.
If you see like a Disney play, you always fall in love with the main, like Aladdin.
Yeah. The prince.
Hot. And he's usually like a gay man in real life. And like, you're like, damn it.
They always are, like, really pretty.
Yeah, so stunning.
Gay men that don't want us, but never mind. Okay. I like that. It fits with your above themes, I think, as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's any musicians listening, please reach out. Unless you're some kind of like gay singer from a Disney musical, then
maybe not.
You're good, but we could be friends.
You could be friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute. Okay, and then the final bit of the affection section is listening to your best friend's recommendation of why someone should date you.
Oh my God.
Are you excited?
I'm actually pretty scared.
Really?
Yeah.
We're nervous to see what they're going to say.
No, I'm buzzing. Go on.
Dating my friend, aren't you lucky? She's got the brains, she's got the beauty, she's got the finger-like toes. Oh, wait. Sorry, let me dial that back. That is unfair. She does have a foot like a hand, but she's also incredibly well-read, a great advocate and ally, and she cares very much about social issues. She may have, a little issue with the dancing department in that it's absolutely terrible, but that doesn't make a woman, does it? It doesn't make a woman. What makes a woman is her mind, and she is incredibly well read. If she is slightly neurotical, but that is not a problem. Any man would be super lucky to take this girl. She stops people in the street, not just because of her toes, but because of how beautiful and how funny and how hilarious she is. Now, she is a little bit of a gremlin, so you are getting that duality of, fun and flirty and flighty by day and a little bit of a grungy mess by night. But don't let that put you off, because the best of us are multifaceted, and that is my friend.
Oh my God, I loved it. I do have really long toes. Do you know what? I reckon maybe the day that she sent this, I must have sent some sort of toe pic. Because big focus on the toe.
Yeah, big. Came up a lot. She's clearly a bit freaked out by your toes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've got a sock on.
I can't tell, yeah.
I've got a sock on, but look, you can kind of see that one's longer than the main toe.
Oh, yeah. I have that.
Makes you smart, though. That's what they reckon, because it meant that you're a monkey climber back in the day. We were climbers.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I've always thought my toes a bit weird because that one's longer, but
guess what makes smart monkeys? Climbing.
Yeah, they can escape.
They do say that. You know what they say about big socks and big feet? Smart climbers.
So funny. Yeah, she got on your book reading as well. That was nice.
Yeah, that was a good one. I actually I feel like I do put it on Instagram a lot, and I'm usually like, look how smart I am. But like,
look at all these books I read.
Yeah,
so
but
cultured.
I do love it. I just love I love sitting in my garden. I've got a really nice, a massive garden. You could pay five-a-side on it. It's the biggest garden I've ever seen in London. It's absolutely beautiful.
That's cool.
Sit out there with my little book, make myself a little bacon and egg roll, and have a little coffee. It's just stunning. My favourite activity.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit of a sesh gremlin too. I love gigs. I love going out. I love just writing all of that. I love going out and just going to the pub and just chatting. Sunday sesh.
Nice.
I need someone who wants to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm a fun person.
I've said this before, but I found that really hard to find in dating. It seems like such an easy thing to ask for, just someone fun. But
in London especially.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like so many people just don't. Maybe we have different ideas of what fun is, but they just don't laugh and they just too serious. I don't know. I really struggled with that. So many guys I date, they'd be really accomplished and successful, and they'd be serious in that aspect, which is attractive, and I'm attracted to ambitious people, but then they also just couldn't let loose at the same time, and
they're not I don't know, it's so it's they want you to be some meek woman that isn't. And they always say, oh, I love funny girls, I love funny people, but they actually hate funny women. And they actually hate...
They want to be the funniest.
Yeah, they hate someone that has a story to tell when, it's better than their story. Or, as soon as you're done talking...
And they one-up your story.
Yeah, they're thinking of the next thing that they're going to say. And it's you don't actually want a funny woman. You want someone who's going to laugh at your jokes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's just my little feminist rant on the podcast from trying to attract men. So, hope you liked it.
The right ones will be there. Okay, we're in the wrap up stage. So this is either leave a one-word review of yourself or give a short summary of why someone should date you.
I'm going to give the summary.
Go on.
I feel like one word. If it was one word, I would say, I'm going to do two. Always fun. I feel like only boring people get bored. I never, even if I'm just hanging out low key with someone or someone I'm dating, it's always a laugh. I just want to have fun. But then it's also you want someone you can have great conversation with.
Yeah.
And I want someone I can speak to about serious things. And, not everything is a joke and some things are actually serious. But it's always
the balance.
Just keep it light. We're having fun. And that's the best way to talk about things and learn about stuff anyway and learn about other people is keep it light.
Yeah.
So,
I like that.
Yeah, I'm just
keep it light. That's a little catchphrase. I like it. It's if you were a yogurt.
Also yogurt or a little Muller rice.
Yeah, keep it light.
Keep it light, or a Philadelphia cream cheese.
I love
keep
that.
It light. But yeah, I just want someone who wants to go to some gigs, just have a wear your little Doc Martens, dance your little heart out, get a bit sweaty, have a bit fun, and just love. Yeah, I just love life. I just love having fun in London.
Awesome.
That's my vibe.
Yay.
Yay. Oh my God, did we do it?
We did it.
Oh my God, we did the whole thing?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So if you think you can keep it light, but also keep up with this hilarious sesh gremlin, DM the podcast on Instagram @SingleSounds to get her details and to set up an iconic date. Even more iconic than the London Eye, one would say. Thanks so much for listening as always, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Tuesday when I'll be back with a single gentleman. Love you, bye.